What's going on, guys? Craig 1287 here, bringing you yet another episode number 2 for Hipster Guns, going up on Pixel Enemy. And before we get into the weapon here, and there will be 2 rounds included in this video. Before we get into all that, I feel like I should clear a few things up. Based on the comments on the first episode for Hipster Guns, it's clear that a lot of people didn't get the purpose of this series. A lot of people didn't get the pun that is the title of it. They thought that these were guns that I consider to be, you know, a typical, what you would say is a hipster gun or anything hipster related. It's something that's uncommon that, you know, people that want to be hipsters use them because they're uncommon. They're not the M416 or the M16 A3. They're not those just overpowered weapons that some people might call them. And so, but that's not what this series is. What this series is not this fail of a frag where I try to get guys up there damaging myself. What this series is not is that. This is a series to showcase weapons that are effective at hip fire and close quarters. And I came up with the idea when I was watching another commentator on YouTube, and they were talking about hipster guns, and what they were actually talking about was what I just described, that the series is not about. But what popped into my head first, for just a few seconds, I thought they were talking about people that only hip fire the gun. And so that's where I got the idea. And here I get you get to see the the medium-ish range capabilities of the PP19. But so yeah, the series, that's what it is. It's showcasing hip fire focused guns. And one of my personal goals and requirements of this series was that I never aim down sight, no matter how far off the person is in the distance, no matter what weapon I'm using. Even if I'm running an engineer and I have to switch to my RPG, I will never aim down sight. And so yeah, that is why a lot of you guys commented on episode 1, dude, you can aim down sight. Hey, is your right mouse button broken? Things of that sort. So yeah, let's get to the loadout. The PP19. That's what we're using in this one. I'm using it with the laser sight, no barrel attachment, no suppressor or flash suppressor of any of that sort, and no scope. The reason I'm going no scope is because, well, again, I will not aim down sight at any point during this series. So why even include a scope? All it is something that's going to take up some of your some of your screen, making it harder to see. If someone's close to you around a corner, something like that, when they come around that corner, if your scope or part of your weapon is just blocking that view, yeah, they might catch you off guard and you might not win that fight. So that's why I'm rocking out no scope. For the secondary, rocking out the G17 unsuppressed, because that is the only pistol that has a laser sight on it, and of course that gives it that better hip fire. And when I'm only hip firing, you gotta take whatever you can get to help improve that. Now, as for the kit, in these 2 videos, using the Assault class with the med pack, no grenade launcher of any sort. Playing real aggressive with this to show the close quarters aspects, and that requires you to heal a lot so that you can stay on the front lines. And then, as for the perks, you're going to be wanting to run at least squad ammo for this gun, because you're going to go through bullets a lot. It does very little damage per bullet. Luckily in this, one of my squad mates had squad ammo temporarily. He switched classes at one point and we lost that. So as you can see, one magazine's 55 rounds. You only start with 110. So you only get 3 mags with this thing, and it takes almost half of one to take an individual out. So you eat through ammo with this PP19. So you're going to want to have squad ammo. And then, because you are only hip firing, you're going to want to run squad suppression. That suppression really hurts your ability to hip fire. You'll see that your crosshairs get real big as you're suppressed. Even if you're running with the red dot sight, the red dot's little laser thing, it still can get real big reticle, and you're not going to be able to hit anything. Even close range can be difficult kills if you are suppressed. So those are really the only two that are pretty much required. Sprint definitely helps because, again, you're trying to stay on the front lines as quick as possible. You want to really get up in their faces as soon as you can because your accuracy is not going to be as good as theirs at range when you are hip firing. So that's the kit and the perks. Now, as for the PP19 itself, how does it perform? Not the best. It's this PDW, in comparison to the other PDWs, it's one of the weakest ones, especially since the patch, the M5K, has become pretty much the dominant PDW with its high damage output per bullet and its rate of fire. But PP19, it's got 55 rounds without the need of the extended mag. So that's pretty much its nicest thing that it's got going for it. Its damage output per bullet, very slim, which, it's got a lot of bullets, so that's pretty much its give and take. And so compared to the P90, that one's only got 5 less, and it still performs quite similarly. So there, go head to head with the M5K and M5. Well, we actually evened out, but M5K is just, it's gonna beat this gun every time, pretty much 9 out of 10. P90 is probably gonna beat it. It's got slightly more damage per bullet and only 5 rounds less. It's just as good when it comes to hip fire. And then MP7, again, it's got a good bit of damage per bullet. It's got an incredible fire rate and the best hip fire accuracy out of the PDWs. So it's a good weapon for catching people off guard. If you're playing real aggressive and you're shooting them from the side or from the back, or they're taking on other people, then you're gonna do real well with this. There's a couple times when I ran into 2, 3, and even 4 guys, and they were just distracted. And because it does have 55 rounds, I was able to take that slight bit of extra time to aim for that head and actually take out all 4 of them or 3 of them with that one magazine. So there's a look at the PP19 in the Hipster Gun series. This is again episode 2. Got plenty more weapons coming out from all the different classes, even recon. And if you guys got any suggestions for this series, please send them over to me or just post them in this video on Pixel Enemy. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Have a good one. Ta-ta.